Introducing the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and many more. The Open Palm Podcast, where the host engages his listeners with inspirational messages, motivating themes, and thought-provoking ideas. Topics include: make more mistakes, how much is your value, don't get right, get going, learning to let go, excellence is a habit, and more. Binge listen today. Subscribe today. It's getting excellent ratings. That's the Open Palm Podcast, hosted by Jerome Shaw. You can also find it on YouTube. Make sure you share it with your social networks and connect on Twitter and Instagram at Jerome Shaw. That's the Open Palm Podcast with Jerome Shaw. Available today on your favorite podcasting platforms. Go listen, download, and subscribe now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce to you Miss Jane Fang. Thank you for joining
Woohoo! Today. Thank you for having me here, Jerome.
Yes, it is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. And you are the Fit Coach for Love.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's actually my new title. That's right, Fit Coach for Love. And I'm very curious, what is your first impression when you see that?
You know, when I see this, it really feels like you are about expanding people. You know, love is such an expansive vibration. It's not really closed. It's very open. So allowing people to become their greatest versions through their fitness, their nutrition, and their mindset, you know, it's just very powerful. So love is so powerful in itself. And so to brand yourself as the Fit Coach for Love, I think is very powerful.
Oh, thank you. You're spot on. That's exactly my intention. And I realized that love, is definitely one of the highest, states of vibrations. Love, joy, and peace. How we get to, the highest state of being. But also in modern day, everybody's looking for love. Everybody wants to be loved. Whether if it's seeking to be loved by others, romance or family, just relationships with friends and other people, or most importantly, loving yourself. So,
Yes.
I realized that love is a big thing that everybody's looking for. But in my department, I particularly want to kind of like niche down to helping women manifest love, helping women attract and find love, or even, improve love life through, the fit journey, through, working on your body, your mind, and your health. Yes. So just to be specific, that's what I'm on right now. That's my new kind of path and direction.
Mm-hmm. I love what you said about niching down and helping women manifest love. It says by building body confidence. It's so interesting because I haven't heard those two words put together, so eloquently, body confidence. And I'd love to know where you came up with that.
Oh, wow, that's a really, really good question. And it's very interesting you said that you haven't really heard the two words put together. It hasn't really been spoken about that much, because the words body positive, I think that term has been, tossed around much, much more. And they both kind of carry, like, body confidence and body positive. They both carry very similar sort of like connotation, but at the same time, like my definition of the body confidence actually kind of like encompasses one's self-confidence of, how you feel about your body, your health, and also your state of mind inside out.
Yes.
So like last week in the at the San Diego event, I was speaking to a few beautiful souls about it. And I was saying that, like my definition of the body confidence does not necessarily mean that you need to lose weight. You need to feel like skinny or, have the six pack, right? And you don't need to be, the so-called, socially acceptable, body shape or the Kim Kardashian shape to be confident. And of course, a lot of people, like for the first, superficial step is, oh yeah, I want to lose weight. So after I lose weight, I get the waist. I'll feel more confident by myself, right? So, but I know that if you go one step deeper, after they achieve, this weight loss, or for example, I don't know, they gain the muscles, what happens after that? Are they truly happy with the body, or
Mm,
they are still mentally and emotionally insecure and stressed about
mhm.
themselves, right? So very often I found that a lot of people are like that, once they have achieved the body, yes, they feel better, because their health has, improved so much. And then,
Yeah.
obviously they can fit into better clothes. I'm just
Mhm.
observing in terms of women in general.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, they are still not confident about themselves. So
Mm.
I realized that, what they need is not only just training the body, working on the diet, they also need the fundamental mental, the
Yes.
training. So, which is why the body confidence, basically explains the true confidence you have for yourself, your health, and your body, your mind, that actually radiates from the inside.
Yes.
So, for example, right, like, I'm working with this girl right now, she's
Hmm.
considered large, but then I tell her that, what we're trying to build here is, get your body into a healthier state. So you may just need to lose, I don't know, 10, 15 pounds. Okay. And that's a start. But also in this journey, I'm going to work with you step by step and see what is it that you need, that you want in life. And whether if it's attracting love, I mean, for a lot of single ladies, they do want that. And then
Hmm.
they think that, okay, if I become smaller, then, I can attract more men because that's what men like, right?
Mm.
And
Okay.
I want them to think that it's not that you want to achieve this so that the guys can like you. You want to achieve this for yourself so that
Yeah.
you build up the strength. You build up the strength in your mind and in your health, and then you achieve the true, the authentic energy, the
Yeah.
authentic, the
Yes.
tr- you shift your energy when you change your health and your fitness. You actually shift your own energy, your vibration, right?
Right.
So when you change that, when you have the energy and the new energy, when you have the new energy, the new vibration about you, then you attract the right people into your life. It's not like,
Yes.
okay, now the man can look at me and everybody's like salivating over my body. They all want me. You don't want that kind of attention. You want the
Mhm.
right vibration from the right
Right.
men, or women, who
Hmm.
are attracted to your vibrational frequency.
Yes.
So yeah, so I hope that I explained that well.
Yes. Yes. Most definitely. I thank you. Thank you so much for that breakdown. When I met you for the very first time, just, like a week or so ago at Masters of Success, I just remember your energy being so palpable. Like I could feel your energy. It was just your,
Thank you.
yes, like your smile. And then also, I love that I was truly impressed that you truly cared about others and what they had to say. You're such a great listener. And we went around the group that we were in. It was a group of 5 of us, and we were just talking about our observations and taking notes from the conference. And you had so many wonderful things to say, but you also were really intently listening to other people. So that was really my first impression of you.
Oh, thank you. I've learned to become a good listener over the years, and
Mhm.
I wasn't always like this. As you can tell, I love chatting, I love talking. So, but it's good that you brought it up. It did require a lot of training just to kind of bring that calmness into my mind and to,
Yeah.
like you said, to tentatively connect and listen to what other people have to say. Because
Hmm.
um, one of my mentors told me this, a large portion of communication comes down to listening,
Hmm.
about what you listen to others and what others have to say. It's not about you blabbing on and on and on and on.
Right. Right.
Yes.
There's 3 messages that I really got from looking at your page. There's authenticity, there's inspiration, and servitude. And those are 3 things that I really get from you. Of course, being authentic, but inspiring other people, and then serving others. How are those 3 key things? How do they play in your life today?
Wow. I love how you summarized your impression in three powerful, powerful words. Um, well, like as my branding suggests, authentic energy, right? I have always been, I like to be raw and authentic
Yeah.
and real. Yeah. So that definitely is playing, I'll say that's in every part of my life. And obviously, we're humans. We go through, moments in life where we are not authentic. Like I have to be authentically honest about the fact that
Yeah.
there are times that we are not our authentic selves.
Mhm.
And that's when, actually, it's very funny. That's when you feel that energy blockages inside yourself. Like,
Mm.
like you're like, okay, I'm trying to like get through this thing, but I don't really know how to like find a clear direction. Like when you lose that clarity, that's when, when you're not being your authentic self, or
Yeah.
when you're not playing full out.
Right.
And so I think the branding itself is always there, almost like accountability, or like a monitor for me, a monitor for me to like always like look at myself and do the checkpoint. Like, okay, Jane, how are you being authentic today? And
Mhm.
where are you now? How are you being authentic at this stage in your life? Are you being
Yeah.
authentically serving people? Are you being authentically inspiring? So it's really good for me to kind of like checkpoint, use my branding, because I do not want to be a what's the word, a phony, right?
Mhm.
And you
Mhm.
have this word, but you're not being authentic yourself. You're not practicing what you're preaching, basically.
Right. Right.
So that's one thing. And then being inspiring and serving. Well, the inspiring part is something that I was not aware of. I was not aware of the fact that I was inspiring people at the beginning.
Mm.
I started this health and fitness journey about 4 years ago. Okay. And at the beginning, it was really just about, having some fun, I remember I started with a boot camp back in Hong Kong. So I used to live in Asia for 10 years before I moved to Canada. And
Yeah.
that was like the thing I was looking forward to, every Tuesday after I finished my office job. I had an office job back then in the architecture industry. And I would always like pack up my bag fast and go run towards that community, the bootcamp
Mhm.
community. So, and then I realized just by being my authentic self and being around people and that kind of fun community vibe, somehow I was inspiring people.
Yes. Yes.
I realized that. I was like, really? I'm just being myself. And, like at the beginning, it was just my vibe, maybe just being a happy, jolly person that actually brought a lot of that good energy to people in the community. And I realized everybody needed that, right? And, it dawned on me that, oh, wow, I actually can inspire people. I can actually help people, right?
Wow.
Yeah, so that actually kind of like slowly, gradually became like more of like a coaching energy, because I saw that, oh, I think a lot of people do need, some kind of like fitness coaching. And, they don't get that unless, they pay, XYZ amount of money to get a personal trainer at the gym.
Right.
And, from what I saw back then, a lot of personal trainers weren't doing, a great job, but they were just there kind of like, anyway, not to judge anybody. So
Mhm.
yeah, so I just kind of like start thinking to myself, oh, maybe this is the path I could go down. I could go down on the fitness trainer path. And then, that evolved over the years, fitness trainer to wellness coach. I took on the nutrition aspect. So
Yeah.
fitness and nutrition. And then in recent couple of years, I'll say starting from 2018 or late 2017, actually to be precise, 2018. So about 2 years,
Mhm.
I start to be very focused on mindset, because I
Okay.
think mindset start to play as a big part in my life. So
Yes.
so basically the inspiring part and also the serving part um, are a reflection of my own being, my own
Yeah.
evolution, the evolution of Jane Fang.
Right.
Yeah. So how I practice everything and how I train myself, how I coach myself, I learned that, this is how I don't know, it's just very naturally, I
Yeah.
coach others by the way I coach myself. And maybe sometimes I coach others a little bit more harsh than the way I coach myself, just to be very frank with you. And
Mhm.
that's something I'm still working on. I'm like, hey, you know what? I should coach myself the way I coach, my team, because I
Mhm.
really push them. I really kind of give them sometimes not really a hard time, like a tough love sometimes. And I
Mm,
have
yeah.
to give myself the tough love.
Mhm.
So yeah, so that's the inspiring serving part. But
Yeah.
just one little thing, like one quick thing I want to say about serving. Um, I believe there's a difference between inspiring and serving. Because when you inspire people, you can inspire people on so many different levels, right? Small,
Right.
social media, YouTube, very easy these days. But serving, I believe, is taking you like a few steps forward, taking you a few steps away from just being like, I don't know, like someone at home and you make a video and that can inspire people. Serving requires, I believe, in my, concept of that is it requires the leader or the individual to really take extra actions to
Mm.
connect with the
Mm-hmm.
community, to connect with the people, the environment around you, and to really, really pay attention and having an interest in what is it that they need and what is it that they want, and how can I deliver the values and, I don't know, some solutions and helps to really help these people around.
Yes.
So yeah, so it has like more of an what's the word, proactive, it has a more of a proactive energy in there.
Yes.
Yes, so that's my take home.
There was something that you said that I loved, and you talked about being in these places, in these boot camps, and being your authentic self. And Jane, when you said that you just discovered that when you were your authentic self, somehow you started inspiring others. Somehow you started to inspire other people. And I think that there's a message in there because, perfect is not really relatable, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
perfection is not relatable because no one is perfect. So when we try to be this perfect person, we don't really reach enough people because it's not something that they can really aspire to be. But when we are ourselves, you were your authentic self, you reached so many more people and you inspired so many more people because here they were seeing somebody who was unafraid, who was courageous, and who was brave enough to be who they already are. I think that's beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, just now when you said that, it brought back so many wonderful memories from the boot camp days. Yeah, I really have to thank my mentor and then everybody at the boot camp for helping me sort of like shape who I am today.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Wow.
it's been a fun journey. Yeah.
Speaking of nutrition, because that's another very key point and something that you very much stress and project that positive energy in the ways of what we're putting inside of our body.
Mhm.
I like that you said that we can't control everything in our lives, but we can control what we put in our body.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
we,
Oh,
Mhm.
love that you read one of my quotes.
Yeah, yes. So, I've been doing a little homework on you. And so, watching you give people the lean and fit challenges, how does nutrition really come in line and really just make this trifecta of mindset, fitness, and nutrition? How does that really complete it for you?
Oh, wow. It's actually, a lot of people think that, oh, doing nutrition, fixing my diet, and how do I eat? It's so hard. But, in reality, it's very simple. It is very simple. You probably saw in my page that I always talk about this 80-20 rule, right?
Yes.
So 80% nutrition, 20% fitness, or
Hmm.
sometimes I don't call it particularly fitness, I call it active lifestyle. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, because you can do anything to move your body as long as you're in love with that activity, right? And then 80% of the equation falls down to what you put into your body. And then
Yeah.
what do you put into your body? Just in a very, very simple term, we're not going to get into the scientific, nitty-gritty things, right? Because that's going
Mhm.
to be another episode.
Right.
Just think about what you put into your body. It has to be nutritious. It has to basically give all the vitamins and all the how should I say vitamins, all the nutrients. We call them macronutrients, like your
Yeah.
protein, your fats, and your carbohydrate, and plus, the micronutrients, your minerals, your vitamins,
Yes.
and those things have to be there. Okay, so and fresh, yes, and
Hmm.
fresh, wholesome food. We need to have a good combination of nutritious food plus hydration. So meaning drinking water, drinking, tea, tea that's beneficial for your body, or, fruit juice, for example. But that's another episode about fruit juice. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get down.
Okay.
Fruits and vegetables, plus, everything we eat
Yes.
in, try to grab, things in the most wholesome state and put into your body versus the commercial packaged food and the fast food,
Right.
food that's being highly processed, or what's the word, like being fried triple times, quadruple
Right.
times,
Hmm.
right? So I'll say, just keep in mind of those keys, right? And obviously that does require some another session or another kind of like coaching program to go through the details, but also, and then another thing is I personally believe in taking supplements. Okay. And I know
Hmm.
that a lot of people listening right now may disagree with me. But then in my personal practice, I believe that especially people who are active athletes and also people who have say if you have already passed the age of 25, having moderate the right amount of supplements as
Hmm.
part of your lifestyle, as part of your diet, is very important, because in this day and age it is almost impossible to get all the nutrients and all the nutrients that your body needs from just the food that we eat.
Right.
And we're also busy, so very often we just grab something very quick and go. And
Hmm.
the quick and go things don't have all the things that your body needs. So yeah, so it's combination of high, how should I say it, high density of nutritious food, plus the right supplement for your body. You need to know what your body needs, right, before you go and grab those supplements, and the hydration. So in a
Okay.
nutshell, that's my take on what you should put into your body.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. There was also some messages that I observed on your wall where you took people down a path of the 7 spiritual laws of success. And
Oh.
yeah, you said, oh,
Oh, I went, oh, is because that's something I'm still learning.
yes, yes. And so that's why this would be awesome to hear your perspective on 2 of these laws that really stuck out to me. And these are ones that I've been learning specifically this year. But I would love to hear your take on one, the law of least effort, and the other one is the law of detachment.
Oh, wow. That's actually very powerful. Funny how you picked the two. I was like, they're actually almost similar, but
Mhm.
like in my take on, my take on would be, oh, they're kind of similar, like the least effort. Okay. So let's go to the least effort. The least
Yes,
effort, do you remember Alia also spoke about the vortex in the San Diego conference we're in?
I do remember. Yes.
Yes. So I feel that this least effort has a lot to do with the state of being inside the vortex.
Mm.
Inside the vortex, that's when you just let everything flow, right? And you're not like, your mind is not like, jumbled up with all these thoughts.
Mhm.
You're completely in the state of bliss. You're enjoying everything you do, even if you're going through hardship or you're kind of like working on something that's very challenging. But you also said to yourself, I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to enjoy every single moment of this.
Yeah.
And just let everything be without controlling it, without kind of like, I have to be on top of everything, I have to manipulate it. And yeah, just kind of like let everything be.
Mhm.
And when you let everything be, and that's when the magic happens.
Wow.
Yes. So that's my take on the least effort. And obviously, I think there are many layers to this law, the least effort. Some people are thinking, wow, that sounds like something I want to do, like for example, one of those, what is it? Like, it sounds like a freedom lifestyle, right?
Mhm.
Freedom
Mhm.
lifestyle, I have this like money generator going on in the background, but I'm here sipping margarita on the beach.
Yeah.
It's not
Yes.
least effort because I don't have to put in so much effort, but I'm getting so much back.
Yeah. Exactly. Yes.
Well, that's another topic we'll talk about another day. Freedom lifestyle creator.
Okay.
But on the superficial level, I think a lot of people could like have that kind of take on like, well, least effort. So that means I don't need to put in any effort at all, and things just come my way, right? I don't think it's like that. So it's like exactly what I say. You got to do the work. You got to, put in the effort and take the actions.
Mm-hmm.
And, during the process of, implementing, the skills and the actions, you throw yourself into this momentum, this vortex of, enjoying every moment and let
Yeah.
everything be. The challenges, the good things, the bad things, the ups and downs, you're part of it, and you just flow with it. Yes. So
Yes.
that's my take on. Okay. I'd love to hear your take on that actually.
For sure, for sure. When I think of the law of least effort, I think of something I heard from Dr. Wayne Dyer, where he says that,
Mm,
in terms of when we put our hand into a river, like a running stream of water, and we try to ball it up in a fist, to try and get the water, we'll pull our fist out of the water and realize we don't have any, that we have nothing. But if
mm,
if we open our hand and we allow ourselves to just experience the water, we dip our hand into the river and just experience the flow, and we just let everything flow, we can experience the whole river, the whole water, everything. We feel it, we feel everything, you know
mm.
and that to me is kind of like the law of least effort.
So, giving is receiving, right?
Right.
So, and then it is something that I only start to really, really practice, like maybe this year, to be honest with you. I didn't actually hear this concept until I met our master, Shreya Kashina, when he said, giving is receiving. And being the only child, I'm a single child from a small family.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea about giving, like sharing even. So this is a very, very new concept to me, and I only just start to practice this year.
Yeah.
And then to be honest with you, at first I was not at the right state of vibration. I was at the vibration where I would give so that I could receive. You know what I mean, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure a lot of people, maybe even subconsciously, they're doing that. Um, every effort they put out there so that they're like, okay, so that I can get something in return.
Right.
And, and it's funny, I was actually talking to my husband about our e-commerce business the other day, and then he made some comment, and I said, hey, I don't do it so that I can, so I can get them to kind of like return me the favor, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to get into the details, but I made it very clear to him that, like I helped them out, not that, I was expecting them to, return me the personal favors. No, that's not what I want to do. Because if I'm doing that, then I'm not doing it right.
Mm.
And and the vibration frequency is just low. If you're like, okay, I'm going to put out all this content and all these great values out there, so that I'm hoping maybe in like, half a year time, 1 year time, I'll be, getting all these like followers or having all this money coming in kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want, I don't want that. At first I was practicing that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I got myself very disappointed when I didn't see the result I wanted.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, I built up this expectation for myself. And I knew like, whenever I put out a post, I was actually seeking attention, at first.
Mm-hmm.
And when I didn't get, we call it the vanity metrics, the likes and, the comments, the engagement,
Right.
I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's interesting. I'm putting so much effort into this. Why don't I get the likes and, all that superficial, oh, you're so great. So yeah, so I was at a very low, state of vibrational frequency, right? As you can see, I was doing it to get attention. I was not doing it in order to give love.
Right.
Mm.
Mm. That's the big
So
difference. Yes.
it is. And I'm sure like a lot of people who are listening to this now, they can resonate with it. And, like I have to point it out because I was practicing that.
Yeah.
And when I was like, even now, like when I make a post or when I make any sharing, I have to ask myself, I have to have this internal conversation with myself. Like, okay, what is your intention for this
Mm.
post?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. Okay, your post will, somehow help a lot of people. Then awesome. That's your pure intention. Is
Yes.
my post gonna, if a little part of me, if any tiny tiny part of me actually wants and craves that attention, like, oh yeah, that kind of, oh Jane, you're so great, my God, you're so awesome, then I probably wouldn't want to put that post out there.
Okay.
Or Or I'll tell myself, okay, maybe I need to restructure this post. Okay, I know you're like, oh my God, you have to think so much before you make a post. It's actually not. It's not a big process. It's very quick. It's kind of like, okay, all right, I did something like say a San Diego event, right? We're
Yeah.
sharing so much happiness. That's great because I want the fellow creators to feel that and to be inspired and just to feel the good vibes. Okay,
Yeah.
put it out there. Don't think about it. And if I put out a photo of me, just me posing or some random stuff, you can see that I don't have that many photos of me, doing the Instagram-y post
Hmm.
because that's not who I am. And
Right.
of course, I do enjoy looking good. I'm a girl, right?
Yeah.
We're all
Right.
human. We have a bit of
Right.
seeing each one of us, and of course,
Right.
we love seeing beautiful photos of ourselves. But I also would like to think about, what's the intention behind my post and what do my audience and my people get out of it, right? Is it just
Yeah.
they click on like because, oh, that's a nice picture of you, or they really hear my message behind it, behind the
Hmm.
photo. So, yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm very intentional with what I'm sharing.
Hmm. So nothing without intention. I love it. I love it. I learned from some folks that I ran into that expectation can often create suffering when we
Yes,
are, yeah. And I know you feel that because, it's happened to me as well, where when I didn't allow myself to release the expectation, if things didn't turn out as I intended, as we planned, then we can often suffer. But when we release that, when we let go of all expectation and say, I'm just going to put this out here into the universe, and if anything comes of it, then so be it. Then it's even more rewarding. It's even more rewarding. So wow. Wow.
definitely. Yeah, it's very powerful. We just say expectation creates suffering, right?
Hmm.
And I'm not sure where's the origin of that, but I have a mentor who's Buddhist, and she often says that to me as well. Like
Yeah.
expectation creates suffering.
Hmm.
Actually, it's beautiful. It's beautiful what we are talking about now because it ties perfectly with the law of letting go,
Yes.
right? When you were just touching on, yeah, when you let go of the expectation, when detachment, sorry, not letting
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
detachment.
Hmm.
Yeah, when you detach yourself from the outcome, when you detach yourself from the result and the expectation, then everything flows. Then you actually get something back tenfold.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the attachment is the attachment thing is such a I'll say almost for a lot of people lifelong lesson,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? I feel like it's almost in our human nature to be so attached to things, whether it's physical attachment or mental, emotional, right?
Right.
Um, yeah, it's a big journey for a lot of us.
The other quote that really stuck out to me was one that reminded me of impermanence. And it says, "Your now is not your forever. Your now
Mm.
is not your forever." Can you touch on how maybe perhaps you have felt this way, or how you see other people who you are coaching feel that their now is going to be forever, and how you would influence them to let them know that it doesn't have to be?
Oh, that's a really good one. Yeah, I'm very grateful you pointed this one out. Um, I'll say this, you now is not forever has a lot to do with one's transformation,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? Like the whole journey of transformation, because we're always evolving, we're always transforming.
Yes.
And your now is like, say, for example, you've achieved your transformation, your say mindset mastery journey, like completed at this stage now. But it does not mean that you're done transforming. Like, okay,
Right.
my transformation done. I'm like the perfect human being from now till like whenever. You are still transforming. Like tomorrow you're probably transforming 1% more than who you are today.
Right.
So who you are now, Jerome, you are not the same person tomorrow, right?
Right.
And when I say this, your now is not forever, is more to do with like when I coach others, I particularly focus on the fact that they are very attached to the negative aspect of their life, and
Yeah.
their state of health and everything, or disciplines and habits. And that's what I tell them, that, you can change everything, like you can transform everything.
Yes.
And who you are today, is not going to be who you will be in the future.
Right.
And there are often people are very, how should I say, that they think that they're very fixed, like, I am just like this. It's so hard for me to change because I've been living my life like this forever, for all my life. And, like, it's hard to fix me, kind of thing, right? And, I tell them that, if you have the will, you have the power to do it. There's a way to do it.
Yes.
Obviously, it does require a lot of, a lot of training, like training, meaning that we have to work on the mind and work on, the subconscious mind, and also habits, all these things, habits are actually deep rooted in the subconsciousness as well.
Right.
So, yeah, so your now is not forever. And it's more like a reminder as well. You can see it as a reminder that, maybe today you didn't do so well. For example, like, oh, I didn't do my workout today. I didn't eat so well today. And then, so a lot of times people would be focused on so much on what you didn't do, like, oh no, no. But then, hey, if you shift your mindset, if you shift your energy and go, hey, you know what? I can focus on what I can do now at this moment, or what I can do tomorrow, right? So that immediately your now is not forever. That gives you that shift of mindset, the shift of energy, and immediately you know that, okay, I've already done it. I'm gonna move on, and I know what I can do next or now is, I have time. I can probably hit the gym for even just 10, 15 minutes. Then just kind of surrender to the fact that, I'm just like this all the time.
Right.
I don't know why. I always giving to like all these bad habits. Yeah. So I mean, there are more to it, but yeah, I hope I explain it.
Oh, perfect. Yes, yes. I love how you talked about the will to do it. The will that is so strong, so powerful, because there were so many times in my life where, going back to the mindset element, just the will to do something it seemed to be a lot harder than doing it itself. When I actually did it, it didn't even seem that difficult, but the will to do it was more challenging.
It's our mind. The will is in our mind. and the mind is always the hardest part. Like, just to tell you the last part of my equation, right? You know how I always speak of 80-20, 80% nutrition, 20% fitness. But then the most important part to that is you need 100% mindset.
Yes. Yes.
Then you can do the 80-20. So, I don't know if you saw one of my YouTube videos, I talk about, it's also something that I learned from our master, that for anything to be successful, whether if you want a health success or love or business or life, 80%, this is his 80-20 rule, 80% comes down to the mindset and 20% is the mechanics. Yes. So, yeah, so we gotta, we have to work on the mind first. And then when we got the mindset, we know what to do. Like the how just becomes easy when we know the why.
Right. Yes. When we have a strong why, the how takes care of itself. It's like we can accomplish any how when we know why.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you so much, Jane. This has been wonderful. I'm beaming. I'm like smiling from ear to ear right now.
Oh, I can see your face in front of me. I can totally see your face. You have this irresistible smile and the charm that, no one can say no to. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Please let us know anywhere and everywhere that we can find you and where we can look you up.
Yeah, it's just authentic energy. Everywhere you are on any social platform, just look for authentic energy.
Everywhere, authentic energy. Just type
That's
that in.
right.
You will find Jane Fang. All right. Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much for your time once again, and we will have to do this once again because it did seem like there were so many more topics that,
Oh,
we could cover.
totally. We need 7 episodes. 7 laws of, I don't know, fit for love, right?
Right.
Oh, that's a really good one. I should think about creating a program based on that, actually. 7 laws of fit for love. Yeah,
Hey, there you go. Hey, Pat.
that's right.
You
Yeah,
coined it. All
that's
right.
awesome. Thank you so much for having me here, Jerome. I had so much fun. It's my first podcast chat or podcast interview ever,
All
ever.
right. All
Yeah,
right. Awesome. I'm honored. I'm honored to be the first to have you on. Yes.
I'm honored to be here.
All right. So enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed and keep inspiring. Keep inspiring us. Fit Coach for Love.
You too, you too. So much love to you. Namaste. Okay, I'll speak
Namaste.
to you later. Bye.
Bye. Hey there, my friend. So you've heard about Anchor, but do you know why it's the easiest way to make a podcast? Well, first off, it's free. It allows you to use creation tools that let you record your podcast right from your phone or computer. It also distributes your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more platforms. You can even make money from your podcast with minimum listenership. It's everything you need in one place. Download the free Anchor app today or go to anchor.fm to get started. Can't wait to hear yours. Let's see what you have to offer the world.